You will earn some of your points for the different marking periods in CleverDesk by actually completing work orders that are submitted. In order to access the work orders and tickets that are submitted, you're just going to go to the CleverDesk Moodle course. On the top left corner, you're going to see a customer service button. When you click that button, it's going to open you up to a screen with login information for the CleverDesk ticketing system, where you're just going to use your same username and password that you use for Moodle. When you get to that screen, what it's going to have is all of the tickets that are open in your name at the current time. At first, when you log in, you might not have any tickets that were assigned to you, but just note that at any time, any of the technology department members can assign you a ticket. So you want to check on this frequently so that way you can make sure that there's nothing else you're supposed to be working on. If there is a ticket in your name, what you're going to see is a ticket number, the date that the ticket was created, the name of the student or teacher that has the issue, and then a description of what is going on. What you're going to do is use this information to be able to make the fix or give instructions for whoever had the ticket in, and then you're also going to click on that ticket number. What it's going to do is take you to a screen where you're going to have to put resolution notes and describe whatever you did to fix the problem, whether it was just download an update or actually replace parts or anything like that. At the bottom, there are a couple of options that you're going to have to check off if they apply. The first one is that if you replace parts, you're going to have to check that off. What we'll then do is verify if a student is actually going to need to pay for those parts, or if it was just something that was a freak accident or anything. The last part is just checking off a couple options. The first one is just to see if the student needed to have any parts replaced. We'll have to go in as a technology department and see if it is something that the student would need to be charged for, or if it's something that is just covered with wear and tear of the computer. And then also, if you complete this work order, what you're going to do is check it off. When you do check it off and it says completed, when you hit submit, it's going to show up in your closed tickets. Other things to notice in this ticketing system, I'll go back to the open ticket screen, is it's basically going to show you how many unassigned tickets there are. These would be tickets that you would have access to basically claim for yourself and try to do the fix and earn points for it. All of your specific open tickets will show up here. Any tickets that you already closed will show up here, and any points that you earn will show up here. These points are basically going to be added to your total for your points at the end of each marking period. Alright, so if you know that you have some work orders completed, that'll only boost your grade as you get towards the end of the marking period. Along the top menu, obviously you have your open tickets, and that's where all of your tickets are that are open for you at that specific time. You have a ticket queue where if you click on it, any unassigned ticket that was not designated to either a student or a staff member will show up here. If you wanted to grab a ticket, you'd basically just click on the ticket number and it'll automatically put it into your open tickets. Any closed tickets that you want to basically refresher on will be listed here. Any resolution notes will show up in its own separate columns. That might be a place where you can reference if you know you've made a fix before but you weren't quite sure exactly what you did. This could be used to help you be able to solve that problem. And finally, there is a create a ticket option for students. This will especially be helpful if you didn't have access to the kiosk while you're in CleverDesk because maybe you were caught off guard while you were working on something else. Or you could potentially even use this if you were out in another classroom and you noticed that another classmate had an issue with their computer. If you click this button, it's going to take you to the screen where you're going to basically select from the drop down the student names, and when you basically hit submit, it's going to take you to that same screen that you would for students where you'd enter that information. What you could do is enter the information and tell the student to come down to us whenever it suits their schedule, and we'll already have the information for them, and hopefully that'll help us be able to make the fix faster. If you have any questions while you're working on any of the tickets, or if you're not sure where to go for anything with all of this customer service stuff for CleverDesk, please do not hesitate to ask Mr. Bensing, Mr. Boyer, or Mrs. Christabak. We would all be glad to help you, and we're glad for all the help that you can provide the students and staff at the Cornwall-Lebanon School District.